Yes, we are live. We are back. It's the Gold Star Podcast, episode 4, hosted by myself, Jamie Ross, and you'll see today we are joined by just one of my co-hosts. Only it is a different co-host from the past 2 episodes because 6-star suspension has been lifted. Of course, 6-star impersonating Mystico on the original episode of the Gold Star Podcast led to a suspension and then a backstage attack on our very own Lewis of Wrestle Purists led to a further suspension. So 2 weeks missed for 6-star. But 6, you're back. The suspension's been lifted. Scott has been attacked backstage. We still don't know the identity of whoever attacked Scott. We believe he may be making a recovery and joining us later in the show. But 6, it's time for you to address the people. You've been away for 2 episodes. The people have missed you. What have you got to say?
I've been gone. Okay. I came in to this project with the full intention of giving the people of Wrestle Purists, our lovely flowers in this golden garden, the best content I could possibly produce. But I've been gone, and that's really been through no fault of my own, to be completely honest with you all. Over the last few months, in this time in suspension, I have been putting in the work, putting in the hours, really making sure I can come back here and present myself, present my case to the people to show that I never abandoned you, that I always had full intentions of being here, supporting you, and being able to produce something that was meaningful, substantial, and memorable, because that's what I do as a performer. Okay? Well, and yet the woke mob has tried to cancel me. They have tried to take me out. They have tried to remove me from the Wrestle Purists broadcast because they're scared of the truth. Because they're scared of what I can provide for you. They're scared of me being able to connect with you all on a deeper level. So I have to ask you all now, as you're seeing here tonight, I have been missing in previous weeks. And here today, my lovely co-host, Scott Edwards, is missing. But you know who hasn't been missing from any broadcast yet? Jamie Ross. Now, I have to say, Jamie Ross is also the editor-in-chief of Wrestle Purists.
That I am.
Jamie Ross is a corporate officer here.
Member of the board.
Who I am saying, without any doubt, has plotted to remove Scott and myself from the broadcast because he knows that when other people are given the ball, that we run with it. I have been unfairly suspended. I did not attack Lewis, a fellow member of the Poi tribe. What were the other allegations, Jamie?
Impersonating Lucha Libre.
I did not impersonate Lucha Libre legend Mystico. I'm offended. That's my cousin. That's Primo for real. So me being able to get Mystico on a broadcast using my own political powers to make this product a better one, and I was punished.
Accusations. He's one. I'm allegedly one of them. Hashtag them. He's a very spooky.
Not allegations. Not allegations.
Listen. What I will say is, I am, head chief editor, head writer, whatever you want to call it, of Wrestle Purists. I am a member of the board. However, to accuse me of attacking the team that I put together, I built this organization. All right, I built this from the ground up. The Gold Star Podcast starts with me. All right, and to accuse me of betraying my fellow co-hosts and attacking them is slanderous allegations, and these again will be addressed. I'm going to take this higher up the board. We're going directly to Monty. We're going to have to sort this out because it's clear that 6 has not been rehabilitated.
I have never seen more clearly, Jamie. I am seeing with 2 eyes open, 2020 vision, 2024 vision. No, Jamie, 2025 vision. I'm seeing into the future here, and I can see clearly. Hey, it's great to be back. It's great to be back, everybody. I'm super excited to talk about what's going on in Puro and Joshi with everyone. Hasn't been a show here in a while, so I know we have some stuff to catch up on, some stuff to review, some stuff to preview, and I'm excited to get into it with everybody here today.
We certainly do have a lot to get into. We have a little bit of lore dumping going on in the early 5 minutes, a lot to address. But it's nice to see we've got a few of the regulars in here and a few big names. We have the late night grin here in the house, locked in. Business has just picked up, but of course we have a very important question from the late night grin. Now, do you ever talk about Doc Gallows on this podcast? Unfortunately,
we do anything that the late night grin wants or needs. We will do. We can talk about Big Doc Gallows. Is there anything interesting to talk about Doc Gallows? Has anything interesting happened? Resident member of the Bullet Club. Too sweet.
Well, Doc Gallows, he's him and the Machine Gun. They've been down there in NXT for a little while. Putting the work in. AJ just came back, but he's injured again. So the OC is in disarray. But
what's
stay
NXT?
tuned for more Doc Gallows updates as the show continues, and obviously if any breaking news happens with the big LG or the Machine Gun for that matter, we will be right on top of it. We've got a few other regulars in the house. Here we've got Phantom FTW in the building. Lewis doing a bit of arts and crafts. Lewis, I believe, heading to Royal Quest imminently and doing a bit of a meet and greet there, meeting a few big names from the world of Stardom and New Japan. So a bit of a big weekend coming up for our very own Lewis. After he was savagely attacked by Six Star, as we established there.
I never attacked. Why would I attack one of my own?
It's
how do I know that you didn't attack Lewis?
Untrustworthy.
You didn't attack Lewis in a 6-star mask.
These are again allegations that I strongly.
I never said in allegations. I asked, how do I know that's not what you did?
Well, listen, I have the footage. It's in WrestlePurist Titan Towers. I will be holding on to that footage. We will not be reviewing any footage on air, unfortunately.
Notice how Jamie isn't airing any footage.
Well, listen, that would be a breach of contract, and I'm very serious about my role as the member of the board of directors. We run a serious operation here. We don't go around airing footage on our program, to pop numbers. This is
okay.
Shooting.
Not too much. Not too much.
We got a lot to get into.
Anywho, yeah, we got to talk about Puro and Joshi still. That's the whole point of this podcast.
That is allegedly what people are here for. Although if you guys want to just improvise the whole show, I'm sure we could do it. The numbers are picking up as we're doing this, so fuck it. We might we'll start brawling if you want.
Before we get into anything new or recent, like I said, we missed a few weeks, so some important stuff has happened in that time.
Oh yes,
Natsupoi and Hazuki had a brilliant match for the Wonder of Stardom title. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that Hazuki is the best white belt champion, white belt title chaser who's never won the belt.
I would absolutely agree.
I am just, oh my goodness, put in an amazing performance. I mean, we all know that Poi and Hazuki have amazing chemistry. My favorite match from the 2022 5-Star Grand Prix was Hazuki versus Natsupoi, and I think that their match for the white belt was a continuation of a series of matches that I find to be absolutely terrific. The two, Natsupoi and Hazuki, both have historically been the wrestlers to put the most effort into their matches week in, week out over the past few years, and they did the same thing. They did it again.
They absolutely did. I agree. Neither of them ever miss. Natsupoi's reign goes on. I would love to see Hazuki get rewarded with that white belt or any singles championship, to be honest. But it just seems like she's going to be one of them wrestlers that it never quite happens. I hope it does at one point. But the wait goes on, and it seems like that might have been her last white belt challenge if promos are to be believed. But wrestlers say a lot of things sometimes, so we'll see what the future holds for Hazuki. But Natsupoi still reigning. It's the Wonder of Stardom champion. Long may she reign. there's been a few other things happening. Obviously, it's been a little while, as you mentioned, since we've been here last. We had the finals of the Marigold Dreamstar Grand Prix. Big happenings. We weren't able to make a show happen around that date. Bit of scheduling issues, people back at college and uni, and life getting in the way. But the finals came down to Utami Hayashishita and, surprisingly for many, Mai Sakurai, whose stock has risen quite a lot in the past few weeks. I would say since the Julia farewell match is where the momentum really started to shift for Mai Sakurai. But it was Utami Hayashishita, unsurprisingly, that got the job done. She will now get a red belt match with Suri, and I believe that match is set for first stream on January 3rd, I want to say. We'll get into what's next for Suri a little bit later in the show. She has another red belt match coming up very, very soon, but we're getting that Utami Suri match. Six, what do you think, first of all? A summary of the Dreamstar Grand Prix overall, but also more in particular the final.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Dreamstar. I thought it was a pretty good tournament. I think that for where we're at in the company's existence, that was more or less what you wanted from them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was a rather consistent tournament, and I enjoyed the matches that I watched. I don't know why I said it like that. I watched all of them. In terms of the final, if you would have told me after the Dreamstar was announced that the finals would be Utami and Mai Sakurai, I would have slapped you in the face because why? But I actually think, to your point, Mai Sakurai has really risen her stocks through really hard work. We've never been more back. We've had multiple full months without an Italian fascist terrorist on our screens. I haven't seen or uttered that beast's name in months, and I've never been more happy about that. Like, we're finally moving this promotion in a real direction, and we don't have this half in, half out piece of human garbage stinking it up, wasting my precious TV time. Finally, real wrestlers can challenge for the red belt, and not someone who loves to hit a shoot, headbutt, and nothing else. Anywho, not going to get further into that. Mai Sakurai rose her stocks, and I'm really happy about that. I think she did terrific in the tournament. Now, I don't know if I were booking that I would put her in the finals. I don't know if I would do that. I think, despite her stock rising, and I am enjoying the work she's been doing, I do think maybe I would have put someone else in that position. But I'm also not the one with the plan for this promotion. So maybe I'm just, and that's only just because I want to solidify the main event scene as much as possible. And I just don't know if putting Mai Sakurai in the final would have been the way to do that. That being said, I have egg on my face because that match was good. It was a good match, and I really enjoyed it. Utami, I honestly expected more out of her matches in this tournament, to be quite frank. But I'm happy to see that she is the winner of the Dreamstar and challenging for the red belt in due time. I think that she'll make a really good red belt champion, and I'm hoping. It's been a weird few years for Utami, since dropping the World of Stardom championship, and I really hope that she's able to be the wrestler that we all know she's capable of being once she has the red belt and is back on top of a promotion. And I have hope that she can accomplish that. And I really, really enjoyed the match that she won the tournament in. But I think the most important thing to come out of this tournament is that my mother... Am I allowed to swear yet?
Yeah, fuck it.
My motherfucking Twin Tower stocks are through the roof because Chica Go Chica has been killing it week in, week out. And many people, including people who have been part of this panel, have said Go Chica has left Koki in the dust, has left her partner in the dust. And yes, Koki has the charisma and has the energy, but in ring, it's not quite there yet. And to that, I say, go fuck yourselves. Because Koki came in and showed out and showed everybody what it means to be a Twin Tower. Okay? She took in what everyone was saying on the internet. All this dissing, all this go Chica, you're better off on your own. And she said, shove it in your fucking face because I am a star. Koki was far and away, in my eyes, the single biggest benefactor of this tournament. Great matches. Absolutely was improving. Used these important matches to raise her own stock, not just in the company, but as a wrestler. And because of that, I have to say that the future is looking all Twin Tower, baby.
I can get behind that. Very much. Koki. I said for a while that Koki was the kind of the last of the AWG talents that had come over that hadn't really stood out yet. That all changed in the Dreamstar, as you pointed out, 6. And a great white belt showing too with Miko Ano not too long ago. So stocks are very much rising for both members of Twin Towers. Certainly rising for Mai Sakurai, who had a great show, and not just in the final but throughout the tournament. She had a really great match with Nanae Takahashi and a few other great matches. Picked up a few big upsets throughout the tournament, and obviously you look at who was in that block. I don't think many people would have predicted Mai Sakurai to come out of a block that had Miko Ano, Suri, Bozilla, Nanae Takahashi, and make it to the final, but that she did. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Utami kind of picks up momentum in the coming weeks. Obviously, building towards that match with Suri. Many people's wrestler of the year altogether. The wrestler of the year, in my opinion, and certainly the best women's wrestler in the world right now. Best wrestler in the world altogether. She's got to step it up because it's quite clear that Marigold wanted to be the face of the promotion, and she's in the position to be that now. And she's got to step up to it. I think she will. I think she'll be fine in the long term. But it's one we'll keep an eye on. But we'll come back to Marigold a little later in the show. They've got a big Korakuen Hall show coming up with a few big title matches and debuts too, and we will get into that. Hopefully, Scott. My partner here will have made the full recovery by that point after Six's savage attack backstage.
Oh my goodness!
No,
I would never attack Scott.
Listen,
that's my king. Are you joking me? Are y'all seeing this?
I've seen the footage. The people believe me. The people in the live chat, they know I'm trustworthy.
Listen. A white man making allegations of a brown person attacking another white man? That's what we're about here at Wrestle Purists?
Well, maybe. Well, hold on. Listen. These slanderous
woke
rumors.
Purists. Woke purists.
Woke purists. We're having a reboot. This is no longer the Gold Star podcast, guys. This is Woke Purists. You've tuned in to the first episode of Woke Purists.
Pronouns in my podcast, I can remember.
In fact, let me get this fucker off screen. This is my show. Welcome back to Woke Purists. Let's talk about Donald Trump on The Undertaker's.
Is that a shoot? Is that actually happening?
Yeah. Anyway, tune in for more wrestling updates throughout the night.
Oh my goodness! That's gonna be the most podcast of all time.
It is. It's certainly something. It's I made 2 tweets yesterday about Donald Trump on the WrestlePurus account, and I was disgusted, to be honest.
You more
What
like
is this
delighted.
what is this brand
You were making those tweets. You were making those tweets with the biggest smile on your face. You wrote them out in a journal before then with a pink pen, and you put hearts around his name.
I wrote them in liquid gold. I was like, oh my god, we're in business.
Wrote them in red, white, and blue American blood, baby.
That's a WWE Hall of Famer right there. That's Anyway, for more election updates, subscribe to WrestlePurus. Please like the video.
Running for president.
Please, keep it active in the live chat. If you want to send any super chats, that is always much appreciated. If you have any questions,
if you want to guarantee that I'll be back on the show, send some super chats in.
Exactly. You want to guarantee that we will put your message up on screen. We'll answer your question. You gotta send us that, and we will get to it. But speaking of get to it, we're 20 minutes into the show. I think it's about time we head over to New Japan.
We talk about Natsupoi and Hazuki feud that's building. Actually, I don't want to talk about that.
We will certainly not be talking about Natsupoi and Tekla.
That's what I meant to say, by the way. Yeah. I said Hazuki because I'm stuck in better times. Why is Tekla challenging for the white belt? Why is Clark Connor spearing Natsupoi? Great questions that I'm not going to answer today. Natsupoi, I love you, and you're the greatest of all time.
Yeah, we're going to get you out of there, But anyway, New Japan Pro Wrestling, October 14th, Sumo Hall, King of Pro Wrestling. A very, very noteworthy show for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Multiple title changes. Obviously, the big one, I'm sure you're all well aware by now. It's been a couple of days. We're a little bit late to the party. But Zack Sabre Jr. is your new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. We also have new Junior Tag Team Champions. We have new New Japan World Television Champion. And we had some major news about one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. But we'll kick things off. Very relevant that you're here, Six, because we're going to kick off with Hiromu Takahashi versus Mystico.
Let's fucking go! That's my cousin. Yeah. That's my cousin.
Your cousin Mystico. Well, it was rather rude of you to impersonate your cousin in the opening.
I did not impersonate my cousin.
I had Mystico email me directly and contact what was discussed.
You fool! Email you what? You don't read in Spanish.
I can,
I will literally pull up the WhatsApp right now. 6 Star is literally short for 6 Star Rico. Okay, we're literally cousins.
These are all unfounded rumors that have been thrown up towards
rumors. You want to talk about unfounded? Never mind. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
So
6,000
Hiromu and Mystico. Oh, you're talking
6,211 fans in the building in Sumo Hall, and Mystico is in the building, so the attendance is up. However, it was Hiromu Takahashi who got the job done with a new submission that he debuted a few shows back. I enjoyed this for what it was, but I do think it was probably the weakest of their singles matches so far. They've obviously had a few really great ones on it, a couple in Arena Mexico. But anytime that these two get in the ring together, it's always going to be special. Hiromu Takahashi, I don't think is quite at the peak of his powers right now. But like I say, anytime you put these two together, they're always going to create something special. Anytime we get to see Mystico in Japan, it's always going to be a good time. I hope we get to see him a few more. And I hope we get to see this match a few more times. I'm never going to get tired of this one. What did you think of Mystico and Hiromu Takahashi running it back?
Yeah, it was a cute little match. That sounded mean. That was a good match.
Cute little match.
To your point, I don't think it's like close to the best that they've had. But it also goes to show that when they're literally just told, hey, you got 8 minutes, make some magic, don't go anything crazy, that they're going to have a good match. I really hope to see them have another match in the future that has more time and more importance. Hiromu, I don't know what you're watching or who you're talking to, but respectfully put that submission away. That's not why I watch you wrestle. Okay, let's leave the submissions to the submission specialists, and let's focus on what makes you, my king.
I want to direct that claim towards Nats Boy too, actually, while we're at it.
Yeah, so Poi, I
Leave
love
that
you.
armbar.
I love you, but let's leave that Poi bar at home, okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So Hiromu, leave the arm bar at home. I have to put a call in to President Ace because I can't have my cousin losing on these big stages. You know, that's not in our contract. You feel me?
Well, hold on. You just heard this right, guys. Six put in a call to the President Ace. So what I'm hearing, I'm putting two and two together. I think Six Star is responsible for Hiroshi Tanahashi retiring. And I think
Okay.
this is,
First of
one of the
all,
greatest of all time. This is another thing that the allegations are piling up.
I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this forced heel turn. I was brought in to, because the people love me, and now you're turning them against me. Man,
the people know who the star of the show is. Everyone believes me here. We're all on the same team. We're all united.
Yes, because everyone knows that the board of directors are always the ones who should be listened to, for sure. Anywho, I'm gonna put the call in to Big President Ace. That's my king for real. I love him. I would never force him to retire. I will be watching that match with tears in my eyes. But I'm gonna put the call in and make sure that a mistake like this doesn't get made again, because we can't have that happen.
We have big news. We teased it earlier in the night. Of course, with Six Star's return, Scott, our fellow co-host, was brutally assaulted in the backstage area. I believe Six Star to be the perpetrator of this attack.
I believe it was Jamie.
The man himself has made a miraculous recovery and is now ready to join us up on the stage.
Wait. Scott, before you say anything, Scott, wait. Can I give you a real introduction? Something with some pageantry. Everybody, if I may introduce to you the single greatest podcaster, writer, content creator in the world of Joshi today, the one, the only, Boston's own. I am talking about the man with the plan, Cerie's very own publicist, the one that week in, week out puts in the work, puts in the hours, was reviewing both the big Joshi tournaments that happened every single day and videos that happened right after. The man who has essentially made it possible for me to be here with you all today, the one who has blazed trails in Joshi podcasting. I'm talking about the one and the only Scott Edwards.
That was terrifying. Well, thank you to Six Star. Six Star, that was so good at the beginning. I thought you were playing a recording. That was crazy. I appreciate all the kind words.
The GOAT.
Yeah, okay. You might be a little extreme with it, but I appreciate it. I can't get rid of the sunlight. We are having a problem here on my end. I am fighting back from a beatdown in the parking lot. You don't understand. My back's gone. The back is gone, but I'm still here. Unlike Nikita Lyons. Unlike who else?
Come on, I just call you the GOAT, and you're gonna compare yourself to a racist?
I didn't compare myself to her. I'm saying I bounced back. Well, she didn't. That's what I'm saying. I'm better.
What a beast! What a beast!
Star. I appreciate it, Star. Hello, Jamie. Thank you for letting me run in here at the 30-minute mark or so. All I've been thinking about is my golden grappler of the week. That has been my entire being. And while I was doing so, that's when I got beat up. So, I have a concussion. My back's gone, but I am here.
Scott, I have a few questions for you, but most importantly, I have to ask, how are you doing on this fun day?
I just got beat up, so I'm not doing great. But otherwise, I'm feeling great.
I'm glad to hear it. So did you get a good look at the person that attacked you? Maybe glasses, short hair, scouse even?
Mm-hmm. You're right, Six.
Oh!
Right. And they said, don't you ever dare tell Six that I came up with a conspiracy against them to suspend him from the show.
Vindication!
You heard them, folks. He's got concussion. He's got concussion. We can't take anything he's saying seriously. He's not been medically evaluated. He's not been cleared for action. We rushed him back. I thought it would be a great thing to do. I thought he was going to come out here and tell you guys the truth. But no, this man is not prepared to speak in front of the people. We will not be moving forward any further. I'm going to bring Six Star back to the stage. I can't believe what's just happened.
Vindication. Bring Scott back on stage. I have more questions for him. Scott,
I'm back.
I can't believe you've done this to me.
We haven't had a show since the Dreamstar finals. So tell us about what you thought about the finals and the tournament as a whole.
My Sakurai is a baller. That's
So
my biggest takeaway. She figured it out. Also, to the many people that are saying that she's done and over, Utami Hayashishita back, by the way, also back.
I'm hoping.
Well, the final was great. So
final was great.
I'm feeling good. She's getting called out. And obviously, I got to get my one bid in here. Sari was phenomenal.
I purposefully didn't talk about Sari because you weren't here. Oh my goodness. What a tournament.
Yeah,
what a tournament. My goodness.
She is one of a kind, best wrestler in the world. You can have your Ospreys, you can have your Danielson. Well, not anymore. You can have your who do people think WWE's best wrestlers?
None of them are all bad.
Gunther,
you can have your Gunthers.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne? Okay, well, hold on. That's a little cheating.
That's my actual wrestler of the year.
As long as we don't actually have to watch his matches.
I'm so sick and twisted of this Dwayne the Rock Johnson agenda. The man cut some fun promos. All agree. His matches sucked this year.
Listen.
Sucked this year.
Singular.
So bad.
We're not here for matches. We're here for moments. We're here for matches.
This is a Japanese pro wrestling podcast, and you just said we're not here for matches. That's great.
We're here for chills. We're here for...
Okay. The most and the most important and topical question, Scotty. What were your thoughts on Hiromu Takahashi versus Mystico from King of Pro Wrestling?
It's a crime that they didn't get more time, but it was really good for what they did get, of course.
Absolutely.
Friend of the show, Mystico. We're obviously very much cheering for him since he's been on the show before.
My cousin, literally.
Despite what Jamie claims, I know that was Mystico. But
you know what it is. You know what it is, Scotty. You know what it is, Scotty.
Oh shit! What is it?
Jamie just thinks all Mexicans look and sound the same.
No.
Tough day to be Jamie.
I've never beaten the allegations.
I actually have to say it. I didn't say things. I thought it was unprofessional, but when I logged into the StreamYard today, Jamie did say we have to build a wall, and we have to keep you on the other side of it. He did say that. That's a shoot.
I've been here for 2 minutes, and I watched Jamie get canceled 5 times.
Listen, I've been at home getting my ass beaten on air because Jamie wants to slander my good name, my reputation.
Okay, this is true, but I do want to give Jamie some credit. Before we continue, he did move mountains to make this podcast happen today.
It's true.
So I do want to give him credit.
It's true.
Now that being said, how dare you try to take out Six Star? How dare you try to take out Six Star?
We are gonna build that wall, and Monty's gonna pay for it. So
we're gonna.
The board of directors will win in the authority. Listen, you can't hold me down for too long. I'll always come out on the winning side. But anyway,
let's talk more King of Pro Wrestling.
Moving swiftly on, yeah. Unfortunately, people that are here to talk about Shin Nihon Puro Wrestling. Time to talk about the Intergalactic Jet Setters and the Bullet Club War Dogs.
A real tag team. Oh, not that.
War Dogs, 2-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, coming in with a combined 400 and so odd days with the belts here. An only short time between those reigns. They've been great champions, but Kushida and Kevin Knight here, they got the job done, became the new IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, 2-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. And whilst it's always nice to see Kushida picking up belts, I think the real story of the match here was one Kevin Knight.
May I
just,
final Ross?
You may.
Yo, walk with me here. I know you can't see me because I don't have a camera on this laptop, but I just brought myself closer to my screen, and I'm hoping that you all did too. I never thought I'd see the day that New Japan Pro Wrestling put even the slightest, the bittiest amount of respect on my king Kevin Knight. I was hoping, I was praying. I was looking at Kevin Knight and I was saying, I'm gonna get you out of there, King. I'm gonna get you out of there, and I'm gonna get you into some real promotional action. Okay, I promise. And President Ace made it happen. And Kevin Knight has got a championship. Okay, I'm talking about a real wrestler. Not some of these fake wrestlers who like to stare at the cameras, and some of these fake wrestlers who make these what is happening faces. Some of these fake wrestlers who pretend to cry when cutting promos. No, I'm talking about a wrestler who wrestles. A real man is holding that belt. I've never been happier. Shout out Kushida too.
Yeah, we love Kushida. We certainly love Kevin Knight. He had some great. He had one hell of a dive to the outside in this match. He's just so explosive, and he's such a talent. It's great to see New Japan, putting a belt on. He was mixing up in TNA for a little while, and it was looking a little bit scary. He wasn't sure if he was kind of on that kind of Kushida deal where he was lingering around in TNA, but popping up here and there. But it's nice to see New Japan. He's back in the fold. He's got a belt. Scott, what did you think of this one? And more importantly, what do you think of our new IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions?
Kevin Knight's the best wrestler not used by New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
So it makes me look bad when he has a championship now, because it's like, oh, they use him. Well, no, they don't. He comes over to Japan like twice a year. One for the Best of Super Juniors, and the second for the Super Junior Tag League. That's it. That's all they do. And honestly, I'd argue Kevin Knight's not even a junior anymore. Is that a hot take? Is that a hot take? Maybe.
He's looking.
Not a hot take. You look at that man and you think it's a junior.
Right.
Hold up.
He's incredible. He does things in matches that I'm like, okay, this guy is so different from everyone on the roster, right? Why is he not getting a super push? And you know what? Hopefully pairing him with Kushida, because every time he comes back, he's better, despite the fact that I don't get to see him wrestle for months at a time. No, you could argue, yes, I am not going out of my way to watch him in TNA and MLW. And you know what? That might be on me. But you know who's also not going to go out of their way to do that? No one. No one's doing that. I'm not. So I love the title change. I thought this match was superb, like really, really good junior tag. And honestly, I hope this is the start for Kevin Knight. We've already done this whole give them the titles for 2 seconds and then they kind of disappear. I want Kevin Knight to have a big spot at the Tokyo Dome, and I hope this is the beginning of that. This sunlight is going to end my life, by the way. I don't know if you guys see what I'm fighting for over here, but it's okay. Anyways, continue on. I apologize.
No worries. We're just
never apologize. Never apologize.
There's a bit of backstage discussion going on over a later segment. Me and Six Star, and we're in constant battle on this episode. It's raging on behind the scenes.
Can I say one thing? Back to the point on Kevin on Big Kevin. He looks like he eats junior heavyweights for breakfast. So again, I posed that man is not a junior heavyweight, and that's not me dissing the junior heavyweight division. That's just me being honest. I want to see, to Scott's point, I want to see that man have a dome moment, a domement, if you will.
A domement trademark.
There's two chances. Just saying, there's 2 Tokyo Dome shows.
Well,
Oh,
if they
give
can't
me
find
one.
a spot for him on two dome shows, then we got a problem. But I think things are looking up for Kevin Knight at the moment.
I'm holding you to that, Jamie.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll monitor this situation. But I'm feeling pretty optimistic about Kevin Knight's future prospects. The new one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, along with Kushida. Moving on into this show, what do we have next? Another tag team title match we had on this card. We had TMDK, Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols putting the IWGP heavyweight tag team titles on the line against a very interesting tag team, certainly. And on paper, I was a bit spooked out by this match. This is Bad Luck Fale and Caveman Ugg. Now, I was not familiar. I'd heard of Caveman Ugg. One of the wrestlers. I believe it's New Japan. There's a Tamashi. The stuff going on down under. I'm not too familiar. Aussie Puro, which is very interesting. Stay tuned for more New Japan Pro Wrestling updates throughout the night. We had Caveman Ugg team with Bad Luck Fale, and obviously Bad Luck Fale is by no means, a ring general in his own right. So bringing in another, perhaps a protege, was a scary prospect. But I must say, this was a bit more fun than I had anticipated. Caveman Ugg, I would like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see a little bit more from Caveman Ugg. He's big, throwing his weight around.
That's gonna be Jamie's golden grappler. Spoiler alert, everybody. Caveman Ugg.
Caveman Ugg may be the worst name in modern wrestling. It just might be. But in an other realer sense, it might be the best.
Well, he is a caveman.
The best and the worst. He is a caveman,
and his name is Ugg.
So
Ugg. That does sound like a caveman. He's real. He's a shoot caveman. I don't know what this.
He's a shoot caveman.
Yeah.
No, for sure. No, for sure. That almost made me laugh really hard. I didn't expect to hear the phrase "shoot caveman" on the broadcast today.
He lives the gimmick, but I enjoyed Caveman Ugg for what it was, what he brought to the table. Bit of hard hitting offense, but it was TMDK who retained in a night that would be a big one for TMDK. Scott, thoughts on the Caveman?
I have absolutely zero thoughts. He looked good, for a guy that I don't know. They put him on the card, and I was like, "Come again? Who?" I'm not as locked into the Tanahashi side of New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I apologize. And usually when I see Bad Luck Fale in a match, I don't want to watch it. So
too real. I thought the match was inoffensive.
Yeah, they did their thing out there. One thing that is always going to be a positive about Bad Luck Fale teaming with someone called Cave Ugg is that it's not Chase Owens. So
so true.
No, that you make a great point.
And
great point.
And another note is I always love seeing TMDK.
Yeah, so, especially
seeing them having a match on the card, that is always going to put a smile on my face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to talk about the grip. After all, I'm not.
We're getting to the.
I'm here to talk about.
We're getting to the grip. Yeah. We're getting to the grip, Scotty.
We certainly are. In fact, right up next, the big grip. Ryohei Oiwa unsuccessfully challenged Shingo Takagi for the Never Openweight Championship, and I really enjoyed this one. Ryohei Oiwa is the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is, of all the young talents that have burst onto the scene. You talk about your Yota Tsujis, the Yuya Uemuras, the Shota Umanos, who we're going to get into a little bit later on this podcast. And there's been a few other appropriate reaction.
What is that smell? What is that smell?
Ryohei Oiwa.
Before we get to that, we gotta talk about the big motherfucking grip, dude. Oh my god, the gripper.
The gripper.
Listen, roughly 20 years ago, one man carried New Japan Pro Wrestling from near bankruptcy to becoming the premier wrestling promotion in Japan and around the world in terms of the quality of matches that were being had. And during those dark days, the people, the fans of One New Japan Pro Wrestling were hoping for a savior. Not one that they found, but one that found them. And today we feel the bleakness. We feel the darkness surrounding New Japan Pro Wrestling, not knowing what can happen, what will happen, being scared of the future, seeing as we have various failed projects, we have people leaving left and right, and yet, returning from his excursion, Ryohei Oiwa hit us right where we needed to be hit. Oh, the big grip is saving us. He's leading us to the promised lands, guiding us to a bigger, better, brighter future. Holding us with that immense grip, hand in hand, as we finally show the world once again what New Japan Pro Wrestling is all about.
It's very interesting.
You like the match?
It's very interesting hearing Six, cut the promos on the show with no mic on, because Six will, Six, you're cooking this up on the spot here, and I don't know when you're finished. I can't see you. I'm trying not to jump in. I've already got enough heel heat on this show. I'm trying not to cut you off. I have no idea when you're done. So sometimes there may be a bit of an awkward pause, but we gotta let it roll, because you never know when Six is gonna cook up another gem. Scott, we're all big fans of him on this panel.
I'm kind of done having to follow up the promos. You keep setting me up after Six, like
I'm so sorry.
Such important promos, and then I'm like, well, yeah, the match was great. Like, what do you want me to say? The match was great. Here's what I will say: you can have your Tsujis, you can have your Uemuras, you can. If you want Shota Umino, you can have him too. You can have your Ren Naritas. Oi was the guy, okay? There isn't any clear who's the guy when I watch them step into the ring. He gets it. Who was the one wrestling in world title matches on their excursion? Not the other guys. No. It's Mr. Oiwa here. And he steps into the ring, his first big match in New Japan against Shingo Takagi. And they put on a 10-minute slugfest. That's what New Japan's all about, baby. And you can't tell me, right before Hiroshi Tanahashi announces his retirement, minutes later, they put Oiwa right before him. Kind of a sign, maybe, of who's going to be the guy. I don't know. I think Oiwa's next up. I think he's the guy, and I felt like he's the guy since I watched him in Noah the past couple months. And he stepped up in the Sumo Hall, had the people chanting his name, hoping he'd walk out with the victory. And I know he wasn't gonna, and that's okay, because the match was great and he's well on his way. He better have a big spot at Wrestle Kingdom in some way, shape, or form. Him and Yuya Uemura, that feels like your generational feud. Sorry, Tsuji. Sorry, Ren.
No.
Shota's not real, so Shota doesn't actually.
No.
What?
Tsuji can't do this by himself. He needed big grip. Sweet Heat.
No. The
Sweet
grip
Heat.
has moved on. We got Sweet Heat. We got the Heat Storm. The Heat Storm's next up, buddy. The Heat Storm had the big G1. I know Heat Storm got hurt, but
I've turned around on Sweet Heat, but please chill. I'm Big Tsuj. I'm Big Gene Blaster.
No. Here's the thing
before we have some problems.
Here's the thing about Mr. Tsuji, okay? I'm done with him letting me down, okay? I'm done. So you guys can have Tsuji. I'll take the grip, and we'll see who wins.
I have claimed the grip. I just don't.
No, you don't get the grip because you keep.
What do you mean I don't get the grip?
I get the grip.
No. Did you not hear me go on an impassioned promo about the grip not 3 minutes ago?
But when I'm putting over the grip, what do you come in and you talk him down?
No.
In the love of Tsuji.
You brought up Yuya You brought
I
up
don't care
Yuga.
about men's wrestling. What? Take him. I don't care.
Listen. I was just trying to defend Tsuji because you were trying to diss him.
The worst crime you can commit is dick riding without a license.
That felt homophobic.
Well, hold on.
That felt homophobic.
Well,
That's crazy.
Jamie Ross, racist and homophobic. Jamie Ross saw that I put pronouns in my Jamie Ross saw I put pronouns in my name and said, "Get that shit out of here."
not on my brand.
Oh my
Woke
God.
nonsense.
Jamie's
Anyway.
trying to like stay out of the fight that me and Six Star having. And the moment Jamie does something, Six Star's like, "Hold on."
Beat me down.
So listen,
It's
listen,
like,
I think
it's
I
like
think
a
I
triple
can
threat
speak-
when the
I think I speak for the entire Gold Star podcast when I say that we claim big grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
Big Grip is
this is a grip
Gold Star
podcast.
certified.
This is a grip podcast. We
And listen,
we-
I can get behind.
Gold Star, nah, Grip Star, baby, the Grip Star
Grip Star.
podcast.
That's our second rebrand of the night. We were the Gold Star podcast, and we were woke purists, and now we're the Grip Star. So it's, we're going through a number of image changes on this show tonight. But one thing is certain is that Big Grip is he is the future of this promotion. And I do like what Scott was putting down there about this match being right before the big announcements of the night. And the big announcements, as we've already touched on it, we've already basically laid it out for you. But of course, we'll get into it in full. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, the president. In many people's opinion, he is the greatest of all time. Certainly, the New Japan Pro Wrestling and in Japan overall, one of the absolute best wrestlers in the history of the sport. He came out and announced that he will be retiring at Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom, I believe Wrestle Kingdom 20, I want to say 2026, January 2026, will be the end of the road for the ace. Very emotional announcement. As I said, one of the greatest of all time. Like Six alluded to earlier, the guy that kind of single-handedly got New Japan out of the shit, brought them back to their former glory and to new heights. Countless incredible matches. Of course, matches with the likes of Okada are always going to be the big ones. But closer to the time, we'll get into our favorite moments of the ace. But I think it's time to talk a little bit about what we'd like to see on the final road. That we've got a year or so before we get to the grand finale for Hiroshi Tanahashi. We have, of course, one more Wrestle Kingdom coming up at the start of next year, and perhaps another final G1 Climax run. Maybe awaits more tag team, action with potentially the likes of, you've got to imagine Okada's going to be involved at some point during this run. Could we see the likes of Katsuyori Shibata? Could we see Shinsuke Nakamura? I want to throw out there. Could be a possibility. It's going to be special. It's going to be special. We've seen big retirements in Japan done justice over the past few years, and I don't think any are going to come close to what New Japan are going to have to do to really give Hiroshi Tanahashi justice here as he closes out his incredible career. Scott, potentially the greatest of all time in many people's opinion. What are your thoughts on Hiroshi Tanahashi?
Not mine, obviously, but it's fine. No, I love Tanahashi. Very sad that he's retiring. I think it's actually criminal that him and John Cena are technically retiring within days of each other. I think that's awful for
someone's got to find a way to run that.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually.
Yeah.
I got a lot of money in my account. I'm just gonna book a super match. That's the only match in the card. The millions around the world are gonna watch it. That's the dream match that'll never happen, and it's very sad. However, that being said, Hiroshi Tanahashi retiring is the official end of an era in New Japan. They will have to, by the time January 4th, 2026 comes around, they will have officially moved on from the Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito era of their company, which is, of course, the boom period of their company. And I think that is very sad to think about because I think with wrestlers, we get so used to them wrestling until they're 50, 60 years old, right? That's just kind of how the sport goes. And within this past week alone, we've watched Bryan Danielson maybe retire. We've watched Tanahashi announce his retirement. We know John Cena is retiring. Marisa Nakajima retired a few months ago. Meiko Satomura is retiring next year. This sucks. Okay? I'm just going to be honest. This sucks. Why is everyone retiring that I like? You know, like, it's too much. It's too much at once. Tanahashi, I hope him and Nakamura share a ring one more time. It's all said and done. I think that's actually more important to me than anything else. I've watched him and Okada wrestle a million times. I feel like they've said goodbye to each other a million times. I need Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi sharing a ring before it's all over. And I'll ask you both this. January 4th, 2026. You know Tanahashi's going to have one big singles match to wrap it all up. Who's his opponent? You go first.
I'm going to throw it out there. We teased it a little bit earlier. I don't think that match that came on before was
swear to God.
I think it's going to be Big Grip.
Damn it, Jamie! That was my answer.
That means 6 years to tell someone else. Sorry.
Oh,
there's a few out of that young crop. I think depending on how Uemura's stocks rise, I think he could also be a big candidate. But I don't know. I think the way I can see Uemura's trajectory going, I think that's the guy that the company are going to lock in on. And so I think by the time Wrestle Kingdom 20 rolls around, I think there's only going to be one choice for who the company get behind in the absence of the ace moving forward.
I can just see the poster now. The ace versus the grip.
Yes.
Oh, are you kidding me? Come on now.
That's money.
I would like to let it be clear, let it be known that my answer would have been Big Grip, and my answer cannot be Big Grip because Jamie said it. So I'm going to go in the complete opposite direction. Jamie went for a idea of setting up the future. I'm going for a blast from the past. I think his final opponent should be Katsuyori Shibata.
Nice.
Ooh.
That would make me really, really emotional.
I'm never going to say no to Shibata back in a New Japan ring. That's something we've not got enough of at all since he returned to wrestling. And I understand he's very happy over there in AEW, but if the Ace is calling it a day,
yeah,
we got it.
I haven't gotten to speak much on Ace retiring, and I'll keep it short and sweet. Tanahashi is, in my opinion, and I throw around this phrase a lot, but in terms of like impact and in-ring career, I genuinely think he is among the, if not the greatest of all time, at least from the men's professional wrestling perspective. I started watching Tanahashi when I was in middle school in the 2010s and watched him in the 2010s. But even going back and watching some of his earlier work from prior, like when I started to watch some of that stuff in high school and late middle school, was just some of the most memorable times of my career. It's weird for me, I've for the last just about 10 years, I've been able to. So that's at least like 10, a little bit under 10 years, Tanahashi has been part of my life in a capacity and in official in-ring capacity. And it's hard for me to process that beginning next year, that part of his career, that part of his life, that part of my fandom will be over. And I don't have enough words. Yeah, ironically enough. I don't have enough words to thank Tanahashi for everything he's done for wrestling and to describe the way I feel about his retirement. So I'm just going to end it by saying I love the Ace. And for all intents and purposes, he's the greatest Ace in the history of professional wrestling.
Well, we certainly have plenty, a little bit longer to truly thank Tanahashi for his contributions to professional wrestling. January 2026 will be the end of the road for the Ace. We'll be following, the final goodbye for Tanahashi over the next the next year or so, year and a few months. We're gonna get some big matches. We're gonna get some big moments. We're gonna get some finals. We're gonna get some, potentially final G1, final championship wins. Maybe he's mentioned the IWGP title. I don't know what kind of physical condition he's in. I know he's there's a reason he's at the end of the road. But it's the Ace. One last time. I don't know.
Just
never write it
imagine
off.
that title match. Imagine that title match. He gets one more shot in a sold out sumo hall or something like that. I'll have tears in my eyes. I don't know about you guys, but I'd have tears in my eyes, because obviously he's not going to win the G1. Probably won't even be in the G1. So just got to get him a title shot like right before it's all said and done. And it'll be, I love when you get those legendary matches like that one last chance type match that I think that could be the beauty of a retirement run is what goes on throughout. And I hope Tanahashi knows to really take advantage of this. He's taken a step back over the past couple of years, but listen, you're Hiroshi Tanahashi. You don't need to take a step back. This is what people are going to be going to your shows for the next year and couple months. Mm-hmm. Like this, take advantage. This is going to be New Japan. This next year is going to be New Japan's chance to really utilize this to get it back to a certain level. And I hope that Tanahashi be a little selfish this time around.
Yeah, can never hurt. When you're one of the greats, you can get away with, being a little selfish, especially in times like this.
He runs the company. He can do literally whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to stop him? I can't think of anyone who would even try. But, it's Hiroshi Tanahashi calling it a day. Tokyo Dome 2026. We'll keep you updated on all of the things going on that road. Next up, we're moving into the final three. There's a very short match here coming up. Here on King of Pro Wrestling. We had a junior heavyweight championship match, and I say match, it was more of an angle. Doki successfully attained the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against House of Torture's Show. Now, when this match was booked, this was a little spooky, Show challenging for the singles championship. It's always going to be a bit spooky. However, this played out, I think, to perfection. I thought this was the best possible use of this spot on the card. Show ripped off Doki's mask underneath the mask. Doki was prepared. He had like some Kishin Liger, face paint going on. He was ready for it. He was ready for the shenanigans. And when the match starts, Doki, within about 14 seconds, I want to say, he hits the red mist. He hits his finish. He gets the job done. And still, your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion is Doki. Outruns Kanemaru for the beatdown, and then who comes to save Doki? It's one returning Master Wato, and big moment, big pop. Wato is coming for that belt himself, and I think that's the destination. That needs to be the title change. That needs to be the moment Wato gets that belt.
Big Wato.
Thoughts, Scott? I don't know I can't imagine there are too many thoughts on the match itself.
Yeah. Happy Wato's back. That's my only thought.
The overall angle, and more importantly, Wato coming for that title.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's literally my only thought is I'm excited Wato's back.
The journey to the Grand Master. We're back. The journey to the Grand Master took a bump, right? That injury took a bump. He had won the Best of Super Juniors in 2023. He came up short in the title match, but listen, he's going to be a Grandmaster soon enough. Is that going to be the title match? I don't know, but I am happy he is back. He feels different. He feels like he's matured while being gone. I think Master Wato is a great wrestler, and I'm very excited to see what him and Doki do at Power Struggle. The match itself, best show match I've seen in forever.
Yeah. Certainly, it was the correct use of whatever this version of show has become. That's how you that's how you use House of Torture bullshit for the power of good. But moving on to from one element of Bullet Club. Are they still Bullet Club House of Torture? I don't know. They're like their own thing, but they're like technically Bullet Club. I was about to do a transition and then I doubted myself. From one element of Bullet Club, maybe, to definitively the leader of Bullet Club in David Finlay. He defended here the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship against the man that puts the G in G1, Hiroki Goto. I thought this was pretty solid. It's pretty solid stuff. David Finlay, I have to say,
Fucking sucks.
No.
David Finlay
David,
fucking sucks.
Damn it, kick 6-star out. No.
Enough.
Thank you. David Finlay is good.
Bad.
No, David Finlay's good now.
Bad.
Because David Finlay is done being the Jay White ripoff. We have moved on from that. David Finlay's now a brawler, a fighter, and he is a great global champion. David Finlay's the best.
Oh God, what is that smell?
Member of the current Bullet Club.
Oh, what is this? What is that smell?
You know, six. We're supposed to be teamed up here, and you are teamed up. You are not helping me.
You know what, Scott? I'm sorry, and I'll let you speak. I'm so sorry. I'll let you speak.
I thought the match was very well done. Hiroki Goto trying to win for his kids and coming up short. The kids are workers. I think that's incredible. The kids were there to work, not to see success, unfortunately, for Hiroki Goto. No, I thought this match was really, really good and continues a great line of defenses from David Finlay. Dating back to that Yoshihashi defense as well, which was great. I'm really, honestly happy with the way this train's going now. And now it's going to Tai Chi, which excites me greatly. Mm-hmm. I love Tai Chi. So, no complaints here.
David Finlay fucking sucks.
Listen.
I like seeing Goto quite a lot. I feel like he's been reinvigorated this year. And I am hoping to see. I hope that goes somewhere. I feel like there's been added attention to him, and I really hope it goes somewhere that's like meaningful and substantial. I would, I think it'd be a really good feel-good moment for him to like actually win one of these major singles titles. That's what I want. That's my thoughts on this match. I love Hiroki Goto.
Yeah, I would never say no to Hiroki Goto getting a moment, but I have to say that I do agree with Scott. I think David Finlay is he's going into the role. He's coming into his own a lot more. His white belt reign has been increasingly solid, and this was more of the same here from Big Dave. It was what you kind of expected in terms of the way the match was kind of laid out. Hardly high speed action to kick things off. But when it was time to pick things up, they stepped it up a gear, and Goto's kids being at ringside added a nice element to the match. But unfortunately, could not quite get the job done. Finlay calls out after the match. He calls out Yuya Uemura, but of course, Yuya Uemura he's cooked. So out comes Tai Chi, his fellow Just Five Guys stablemate. He is here to stand on business for his fallen ally, and he is going to challenge David Finlay next for that IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, and I'm looking forward to this one too. Like Scott said, I'm a big fan of Tai Chi, kind of in a similar vein to how I feel about the likes of Goto and Yoshihashi. I just think always pretty solid challenges. You know what you're kind of going to get from them in terms of putting them in this spot. I don't think he's going to win the belt because I think the guy who wins the belt down the line will be Yuya Uemura. And I think that's where they're going with it. But I think as another bump on the road towards that direction, I think this should be another really fun one. So I'm on board. David Finlay has a one-time Dumb Guy Live Shitter of the Year. He's won me over. He's no longer
still bad.
No longer.
Still bad.
No. Stop.
There-
Stop.
there are more-
So
You
bad.
don't even watch it. Leave him alone.
I watch the pay-per-views. So
there are much bigger threats to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Listen, Sikandar. You have a different white belt champion to worry about right now.
Hey, the greatest white belt champion in the history of white belt championships. Okay.
Get back to the lab on those arm bars, buddy. It ain't working.
Hey, I'm putting the call into Big Poi herself. Okay, we're taking the Poi bar back home. We're workshopping. We're workshopping.
Listen, Six. Listen, Six. Here's the thing. It's hard to be the worst of your best friend duo. Okay, so she's trying new things, and she's not.
Hey, Scott.
She just needs to be coy. That's all she needs to do. That's all she needs to do.
Hey, Scott. Remember how I backed off earlier? What I did to you was far less egregious. Far less egregious.
I backed off.
It to me. So, Scott, watch your tone.
To be fair,
mind yourself.
Had some great defenses. Great defense, period. Not defenses. The Tekla one was bad. Continue.
Yeah.
Not her fault.
We just erased that from our memory. Tekla bad. Anyways, shout out Hazuki, though. Let's move on. I love you, Scotty. Let's move on because we've been here for
we'll be
over an hour and we still haven't finished this review.
This is the most professional podcast on the Wrestle Purists YouTube channel. Guys, like and subscribe. We're nearly through on King of Pro Wrestling, but it's time to talk about the main event. And the main event, of course, as you already know, was Tetsuya Naito defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against the winner of this year's G1 Climax, challenging early, Zack Sabre Jr. And yes, you already know, it's in the thumbnail. It's been a couple of days now. You've seen the title. Zack Sabre Jr. brought it home for Great Britain. He did it. Football has not come home. Many other things have not come home, but wrestling has now come home, it would appear. Zack Sabre Jr. Defeats Tetsuya Naito. And I really enjoyed this match. I think these two have always had really nice chemistry. But obviously, Naito is in a similar vein to Hiroshi Tanahashi, certainly not in his best moment, shall we say. I think there's a reason that New Japan did not allow this man to carry the title all the way to the Tokyo Dome. They made the call to do the title switch a little early. I think it was the right call. However, I will say he looked a little better here. I think the way they structured the match helped. It was more grounded. Especially towards closing end of the match, those kind of fast counters and a bit of groundwork, which plays into Zack Sabre Jr.'s bag perfectly. I think that helped Naito manage this one a little bit better. Obviously, the crowd's always going to be up for it for these types of big matches, and they certainly were here. But the important thing is that he got the job done. Zack Sabre Jr. is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to carry that into into Crystal Palace in London this Sunday for Royal Quest. We're going to get into that straight after the show. We're going to get into the post-match of this too in a moment. But Scott, Zack Sabre Jr., the new champion, what do you think of this match and what do you think of this moment? We wait quite a while.
I thought the match was great, actually. I thought they, like you said, put it together really well. I think Tetsuya Naito is still not only serviceable but effective in the big match and in the big moment. Especially when it came to putting over Zack Sabre Jr. I think the reason that they did this now is that they have bigger plans. Well, not bigger plans for Naito, but they have big plans for Naito at the Dome, because you're going to have a great two-match punch to try and get people in there on January 4th. And obviously, whoever Zack defends this title against will be won. Sorry, Sonata. You'll not be winning this weekend. But I think whoever they pick, that will be their choice, because then the second, I do think we're going to be getting that Naito Haruo Takahashi match finally at the Tokyo Dome this year, because both of them are not in title pictures. Finally, there's just a reason to believe with how they're building up Hiromu right now that that's the direction they're going, and I think that's a major match between the two most popular wrestlers in that promotion right now. With Zach, this was a long time coming, obviously. When he won the G1 and they moved it up, I think we all knew this was the inevitable landing spot for him. And now he gets to carry New Japan forward in a way that only few foreign talents have had the opportunity to do. You know, I don't really compare him to an Osprey, but more so an Omega, in that he is locked in to being in Japan, right? He lives in Japan. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. He is there for the long haul, much like Omega was. And I think that's very important for New Japan. That's why they saw that they can give him this title right now. And I'm excited to see what he does with this championship. I thought his performance in the moment was great. The crowd absolutely loves him. And I think you got to give him the time to run. And I think they're going to do just that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's one of the reasons why the moment's so great is the fact that he's so committed to the company. The obvious is that he kind of stayed throughout he's one of the many wrestlers who stuck around throughout the pandemic. And continue to give his services to the company. But also, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind, I'm sure you all agree, that Zack Sabre Jr. could be, a major player in either of the two top American promotions, and would undoubtedly be on a lot more money if he chose that path. But like you say, he's committed to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he stuck around, and now he's reaping the rewards. He's on top of the promotion, and it looks like he'll be carrying that title. At the very least, into the Tokyo Dome and potentially even further. And we'll see what the direction is, as we get closer to that show. 6, Zack Sabre Jr., new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. What do you think of the match, and more importantly, did the title change?
I'd like to preface this by saying I fucking hate the British. Shout out Chuck of Wrestle Purist, though. But, oh my goodness. Listen, I love Tetsuya Naito, but I also recognize that he has not been in particularly great shape in ring for quite a while. That being said, Zack Sabre Jr., a brilliant and deserving wrestler, helped Naito get to a truly great match, which isn't me trying to undercut Naito's work and effort. I think he looked quite good out there compared to especially more recent showings. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the star of this show really is ZSJ, Zack Sabre Jr. I have been needing Zack to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship for a long, long time. I think he has proven himself time and again, not just in terms of his capacities and capabilities as a wrestler, but his commitment to the company. And I'm so overjoyed to finally see the company give him this, even a fraction of the love he's given them. I genuinely don't think there's a single more deserving wrestler in the world. I don't think a single wrestler has deserved a title more than Zack Sabre Jr. has deserved the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship since maybe Kenny Omega deserving the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And I mean that for any title, period.
Mm-hmm. I would struggle to disagree, with all the points we laid out there. He's given so much to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and continues to do so. And it's great that he finally got his moment. And speaking of big moments, he's going to carry that title into Royal Quest. And after this match, out came his challenger for Royal Quest. Sonada will challenge Zack Sabre Jr. now for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Crystal Palace. But also joining him, coming out to lay out a challenge to the new champion, was first Shingo Takagi, who I'm never going to complain about seeing him in that title picture. He's, of course, still the never openweight champion. So that creates a bit of an interesting dynamic going on there. But, interestingly, and another big talking point for today's show, out came Shota Umino. Now,
don't Shota you mean Shitter Pumino? What is that motherfucking smell? It's Shitter Pumino. Oh, my goodness.
Now, Shota Umino. We talked a little bit earlier about Tanahashi retiring. And I want to take you back to Okada leaving. Okada left, and Shota Umino declared himself. He said he was going to be the new ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And at that time, a lot of people were kind of on board. You think back to the Ospreay match that he had. I remember he was Wrestle Purist Wrestler of the Week that week. And stocks were up. He had many people would say he had a bit of aura going on at the time. He was coming out, big reactions through the crowd. And over time, I don't know what I don't know exactly what's happened, but all of it has faded away. And now we get to the point where he comes out in front of Sumo Hall to challenge, and he's booed by the Sumo Hall crowd. A very interesting scene, and it's even more interesting because I think out of the challenges that emerged, Shota Umino, I think, is the most likely to be the one for the Dome, which is very interesting because it's very clear that whatever he's got going on right now is not working. So New Japan needs to make a switch. Our very own Peps suggested in this week's Puro guide that he needs a heel turn, but something similar to a Tetsuya Naito style heel turn. Definitely nothing similar to Ren Narita, because that would be true assassination of Shota.
There was a difference though between Naito and Shota Umino when Naito changed things up. Naito was a good wrestler.
Well, yeah, I was.
Shota Umino fucking sucks. Talk about egg on my face. I thought that man was the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's the future of the unemployment line.
Nepotism will make sure that doesn't happen, to be fair.
And I will make sure it does.
Maybe you can find a new home for Shota Umino in the future. I don't know. I hear Gleeta hiring, so maybe.
That's a good spot for him.
Listen.
How does that UWF title sound?
Jamie's dream match: Shota Umino versus Katsuhiko Nakajima for the UWF title. Who says no?
Talking about Nakajima just makes me sad. So yeah, that's King of Pro Wrestling. That's Zack Sabre Jr., IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and I have never been more happy to see the IWGP World Heavyweight title on someone. That's the V5 one, by the way, the World Heavyweight title.
You've never been more happy? Oh, for that belt specifically.
I had to specify.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I was like, hold on. And then I was like, oh, that one belt. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
I tend to agree. I'm very happy for Zach. And speaking of Zach, we're going to move very quickly over to, I mentioned it before, Royal Quest.
Jamie, are you going?
I am not going. Lewis of Wrestle Purist is going.
Lewis is going. Lewis, have a great time.
He's doing the whole. He's the whole shebang. He's doing the meet and greets and the full package.
Meeting Taka, Michinoku.
He's meeting Taka. So I gotta go off on a tangent. We love Lewis here, right? But Lewis wasn't big. Lewis wasn't crazy into Puro and Joshi until he got involved with Wrestle Purist, and I kind of showed him the I showed him Stardom, showed him got him back into New Japan after a little while. He is not entirely not familiar at all with Taka Michinoku, and it's incredible because
Lewis,
it also with
I'm gonna need the picture.
Yeah, he's gonna get a picture. It's gonna pop me a lot. I believe Taka Michinoku has never done a meet and greet before, so it's gonna be beautiful. I don't know what that interaction's gonna look like. Someone needs to live stream.
Easy. Just put over the Inabas and you're good.
Yeah, that's
what I would do. I'd be like, oh my god, I love your trainees. Not you, your trainees. They're great.
Yeah. He's cooking over there at JTO. He's doing his thing. But yeah, shout out to Lewis. I hope he enjoys Royal Quest. But we're not going to spend too long on this card because it's
pretty bad.
It's there's a few interesting singles matches, but like we mentioned before, we'll kick it off right at the top of the card. Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship for the first ever time against Sonada. This should be real fun. This was, of course, made beforehand before he won the belt, but now title will be on the line. I enjoy it every time these two mix it up. I think there's another pair and they have great chemistry. So I think this is excellent first choice for Zach's first defense, and obviously it's going to be a special time. You know, it would have been a special time regardless of opponents because he's coming back to home turf with the belt. That atmosphere is going to be incredible. But I think having a great match with a trusted opponent is going to make it that much better. So expecting a retention here, but should be an excellent match. Scott, thoughts on this pairing?
Should be great. I think these two have fantastic chemistry, and I think this has a chance to be better than the Naito match.
Yes.
Crowd should be incredibly hot for the homecoming of Zach as champion as well. So I think it's gonna be superb. I really do, and I think this is the one match on the show that I'm most looking forward to. So,
hell yeah! 6 thoughts on this one.
I have no original thoughts. I think it's gonna be a good match. The pairing has got some good chemistry, and I am beyond excited for that homecoming reception from the British crowd. Despite the fact I don't think the British deserve good things, I am really happy for them in this instance.
Yeah, it's you get the moments, you get the if anyone's going to make me feel a little bit patriotic, it's going to be Zack Sabre Jr. So shout out to him for sure. Fly through a couple other matches here very, very quickly. We have a tag team match for the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. TMDK putting those titles on the line against Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tomohiro Ishii. Maybe a title change. Could be the first start on the Tanahashi's road. I think giving him the strong titles could be a fun little thing to do. But I'm never going to say no to Tanahashi mixing it up with anyone, especially as we've not got much more left of him. And TMDK is always going to be a pop. Scott, do you think we see a title change here?
I don't, because I don't know why these tag belts exist. I don't know why we have.
I thought they were merging them.
Yeah, I think they've almost merged them 3 different times, and then they just don't. It's a really weird decision, but I guess they could win them because they're the Strong, and who cares, right? And the Strong are supposed to be American based. You know what? I do think they're gonna win them then. I've talked myself into it. I think Tanahashi and Tom are gonna win the belts.
Yeah, he should. Any opportunities for him to pick up belts that don't really affect the product. Fuck it. Let's run with it. 6 feet, we get title change.
Yeah, I do. I actually think that President Ace should politic and go on his belt collector gimmick.
I'm all in on that.
I need him to close out the Tokyo Dome with literally every championship around his waist.
Except for
if anyone's going to beat Mayu Iwatani, if anyone's going to beat Mayu Iwatani, it might be Big Ace.
Finally, some real food. I would love Mayu and Big Ace to have a tag team match.
They always wanted one.
Oh yeah, let's get that at
let's get that.
What's the show called? Historic X Over.
X Over. Historic X Over.
Yeah, let's get that.
What's next on this card?
Next up, we're gonna fly through this now. We've got the 2 title matches out of the way. We have trios match: Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and Titan of LIJ taking on TMDK's Big Grip, Ryohei Oiwa, and Robbie Eagles, and CMLO's Mascara Dorada. This should be a lot of fun.
That moves me incredibly.
Should be a lot of fun. It's absolutely great undercard match.
Well, yeah, Titan and Mascara Dorada interactions, they're going to be a lot of fun. Big Oiwa on the card, big pop.
Yeah,
a few singles matches. David Finlay taking on Taka Michinoku.
What a match.
And everyone.
Shut up, Michinoku.
We're finally getting it. We also have the singles match that no one asked for. Shota Umino versus Callum Newman.
I think I'd rather die. Anyways, next.
Yeah. We got Driller Maloney versus Yota Tsuji. Big win for Tsuji there. Coming back to the UK, you would expect. Should be a decent little one. Michael Oku, former British heavyweight champion over there at Rev Pro, taking on Kosei Fujita. I'm a big fan of Fujita. I think he's got big things in the future, but I think Oku's probably taking a win for the Brits, unfortunately.
Can I ask why? Why does he have to win?
because
British.
like Vegeta's still technically like a junior, so
Yeah, but
it's just like-
Vegeta's fighting for the strong open weight in Lowell next month.
oh well, maybe he's picking the win up there. I don't know.
Against Gabe.
I always assume the worst when these the Brit Rest guys creep over to the.
Yeah, probably. It honestly probably doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
I'm acting like the strong open weight matters. My apologies.
Yeah, they ain't planning nothing. there's no thought going into this. Bit of Stardom action. Azumi is teaming up with Danny Luna to take on Mina Shirakawa, the British women's champion apparently, and Kanji. I don't know much about Kanji, but shout out to Kanji. This should be fun. There's singles matches going on in Doncaster, I believe, with these four involved. So. Bit more action there for the UK crowd, but a Stardom talent coming over, so it's going to pop me.
One Stardom talent, by the way, one singular Stardom talent. Mina Shirakawa.
It's always nice of AEW to. It's always nice of AEW to send Mina Shirakawa.
Oh, Jamie and I, we got on the same wavelength for that one.
Yeah. This one actually might be an interesting one to get into. This second on the card. Taiji Ishimori and X taking on CPF. I don't know much about CPF. Joe Lando and Danny Black. X, I assume, is going to be the X that is featuring in the Super Junior Tag League, which is obviously Taiji Ishimori's announced. He's got an X partner. Who's it going to be? I've seen a few people throw out to the X, and obviously this guy was mentioned when TMDK had an X, but I think this is where we get him. I think this could be Robbie X of Rev Pro. Again, not someone I'm massively familiar with. I've seen a little bit of his work. I know he's
I don't really care about this match, to be honest.
Well, me neither, really. But it might have an
There's
impact
an X. There's an X, so you gotta.
Yeah, it might have an impact on the next couple of weeks of New Japan programming. So we got to
impact. You say? TNA impact.
TNA bad.
Listen, hey, if Taiji Ishimori can get into contact with Leon Slater, then that would be.
Oh,
very
now we're
nice.
talking big money. Now we're talking big money.
You're welcome for bringing TNA into this. Thank you.
Slater, I will save you, I promise. And Speedball, Slater, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna save you. Anyways, move on. Next match.
Anyway,
isn't that it?
So I'm predicting Robbie X. Yeah, I think that's who this is gonna.
That's a good shout. Robbie X is the X. Wow.
Yeah,
with that,
I think it's gonna happen. Last match on this card, well, the first match on this card is Youngblood, Yuto Nakashima, and Oscar Loibe.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about Greedy Souls, but I fuck with Youngblood heavy. So shout out to Yuto Nakashima. I like that guy. He's looking very cool. The more he's got big beard, he's looking beefy.
The last picture I saw of him, he looked like Jacob Fatu.
He's looking like
I'm not even kidding.
He's looking like a real monster. That's a scary prospect. When he comes back and they get him and Big Grip in the same ring, mountains will be moved. It's the
monster versus the Grip.
New Japan is in safe hands. But that rounds out Royal Quest and concludes the very long New Japan section of this podcast.
That's crazy.
Celebratory vibes for Zack Sabre Jr. He's coming back home with the belt.
I was brought. Scott and I were both brought into this podcast under the promise of it being a Joshi primarily one and Puro as a suggestion. And here we are, my big return, and I've been talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling for 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Well, listen, I'll break it. I'll be real, break it down for the people. I had every intention of this being a Joshi podcast, but unfortunately, I have to politic my way through the Wrestle Furious Titan Towers. And if I came to Montel and said, "Listen, we're going to preview the Marigold Korakuen card, and that's going to be the headline of this video," he'd tell me to go fuck myself. So we have to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We're gonna review Marigold and Stardom house shows. That's the big seller.
Listen. These are the things we have to do to appease the head of the chairman.
What we're really here to talk about is Kamomo Manami defeating Manami Yuki. That's the big draw. That's the big draw.
We did it. We finally did it. We're up. Anyway, yes, Marigold. We're heading over to the Golden Gardens.
Finally.
I've lost the tweet. Hold on. I'm gonna get it.
No.
But anyway, October the 4th, we have a big.
Nope. The 24th. The 4th.
October
already happened.
October the 24th, I should say. I'm botching because I'm doing multitasking. Is never.
Yeah,
my
you're doing like
forte.
7 things at once. Me and Six are just like chilling.
We're texting each other right now, shitting on Jamie.
Yeah,
I found
making
the
fun of
card.
Jamie.
It's on the. We got it. October 24th, Marigold returns to Korakuen Hall. And, we've said a few times on this podcast that Marigold, they put extra effort into these Korakuen Hall shows. They try and make them feel special, which not enough companies do nowadays. And this one is certainly looking very special. We have all four titles on the line on this show. We also have 2 debuts. One of those debuts is going to be in a title match. Very exciting times. We're gonna get into it straight at the top of the card. I think we're gonna go right in. Suri, the best wrestler in the world, is defending the Marigold World Championship. She's defending against Bozilla. These two had an incredible exchange at the press conference a couple of days ago. Bozilla leaping over that table and kicking off the action.
Incredible.
We know that Utami is in the future for the red belt. And this will be, I believe, Suri's first defense of this title.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not expecting a title change here. I think Suri's going to get her win back, but this should be incredible. I really enjoy these two as a pair, whether it's a tag team or in singles action. So this should be real special. A V1 for Suri. Scott, how you feeling heading into this one? Big Boz getting that title shot.
Well, obviously, I'm never going to pick against Sari. That's just not, never do that in my life.
It's not in your contract either.
No. Speaking of which, coming hopefully next week, the latest Sari interview by me. I think Sari is really excited for this match. Actually, I know she's really excited for this match. This is one that she is. This is one that she's wanted. Ever since her and Bozilla teamed at Fields Forever, this has been one she's circled. And when they wrestled in the Dreamstar and she lost, she wanted the rematch almost instantly. And now we're getting it. And I think it's going to be great. She's been watching the tapes. She's gone back into the Inoki tapes, watching the Andre the Giant tapes. I'm hoping she's watching the Vader tapes as well. She's got to be ready to slay the beast. And I think the Sun God, as always, walks out victorious because, of course, Oda Ward is waiting for the matchup between the Sun God and the Red Queen. So we got to get there first. We got to get through Bozilla, and I think Sari will get through Bozilla. It should be a great main event.
Absolutely, a perfect main event for a big Korakuen card. 6, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, this is real wrestling. I think
as real as it gets.
I think we've all been very high on Big Bo since
Boz Academy for life.
Since before even the first Marigold show, right? But I think that she's done well. I think that she's steadily improved her game. I think that they had a good match during the Dreamstar, and I'm excited to see them go at it again. I think this will be better than their last match, and I actually think that we're going to see something special out of Suri that night, the way we see something special out of Suri every night, because she is, quite frankly, the greatest professional wrestler in the world today.
You're damn right.
It's going to be very special. I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite things in wrestling. I mean, Suri's one of my favorite, people in wrestling in general. But the way she, kind of molds her game around Inoki, she clearly loves Inoki so much. And she's been locked in on this match and the Andre comparisons with Bozilla. It's popped me a lot. Bozilla, big friend of Wrestle Purists, and obviously Suri, big friend of Scott. So we may come to blows. That's actually, I hold my hands up. That's why I beat Scott down.
He admitted it.
Big boss put the call in and was like, "Listen, I had this piece of shit's running Suri propaganda ahead of our match. We got to do something." So
if it helps, I'm always putting out Suri propaganda. It doesn't matter if it's against
I'm never going to hold that against Suri. Propaganda's always welcome. The best in the world. But we have more title matches coming up on this Korakuen Hall card. Next up, the white belt United National Championship match. The second defense for Miku Aono should be defending that title against Nagisa Nozaki. This is a very interesting one. Nagisa Nozaki, someone I think is steadily kind of grown into her role in Marigold. I think earlier on, she's obviously been playing. She's been playing up to the heel kind of stick.
Listen, sometimes people just don't want to try, man. Like
it is what it is. Is you come in as a freelancer, you're doing your spots. I understand, but I think the Dreamstar, I think she was a little bit more locked in. She's been building up to this, and I think now is about the right time to run a match like this. I think it's going to be a good spot for both. I think it will be a successful defense for Miku Aono, but I think this one should be really fun. I think for people who still aren't fully on board with Nagisa Nozaki, maybe haven't seen her work outside of Marigold, I think this one should be one where she really steps up and kind of proves why Marigold have brought her in and kept her around. I got to 6 first on this one. 6, you looking forward to this white belt title defense for Miku Aono?
Absolutely. I've never been shy about the fact that of all the wrestlers coming in from Actress Girls, that Aono was the one I was most excited for, and she has time and again proven me right. I think she's only become more comfortable and better, and she fits into this big player main event role like a glove. I think this is going to be an easy defense for her, but more importantly, I think this is going to be a really, really important match for Nozaki. In the way that it allows her to present herself and her growth that has been, there's been a steady growth and change since the beginning of this Marigold project. And I think that I like solidifying the white belt as one where people can show that growth and that they deserve to be in these conversations and these spots. And I think that this was going to be for her. And I think that she'll succeed in that endeavor in terms of like using this match to elevate her stock. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, it should be another great one, another great title match on this card. And I'm expecting, like I said, Miku Aono retention here, but I think a big showing on the cards for Nagisa Nozaki. Next up, now, we just spoke about 2 very exciting title matches, and I'm assuming that these 2 title matches are going to be, probably a notch above the one I'm about to get into. But I am very intrigued. I'm probably most intrigued on it by everything on this card, most by this next match, because we have a debut and a title match all in one. Natsumi Shozuki has been one of the MVPs of Marigold so far. She recently defended the Superfly Championship against Victoria Yuzuki. And after that match, out came a masked individual, and we did not know who this masked individual was. She introduced herself as Hummingbird, which is an incredible name for a pro wrestler.
Great name.
Only rivaled by the likes of Caveman Ugg. Well, yeah, Hummingbird makes her way out, backflips over the rope, and then gets on the top rope. She's looking. May I say, she's looking super fly.
I never got to say anything about Nozaki. How dare you? That's fine. Continue. Shout out to Hummingbird.
She's locked in. She's asking for a title match. She's getting it on this Korakuen Hall card against Shozuki. I've seen people throw around, who Hummingbird might be. I've seen people mention Cat Mask Calico. We know that she's in the mix with Marigold. I saw someone mention Rhythm. I hope not.
I can tell you right now, it ain't
breaking news, breaking Wrestle Purists Gold Star exclusive. I am Hummingbird, actually. Whoa. I was under the mask the whole time. It was me. It was me all along.
Oh, yes. Breaking news. Yeah, we're going to put that out, get a lot of engagement. Ibu's we're going to credit Ibu with it. We're going to say that he broke it, give it a bit more credibility. But 6-star is Hummingbird. But yes, Hummingbird's getting that title match. Bold prediction. She's going to win.
Oh!
Wow.
Listen. Roshi Ogawa. Listen, my father, he He changed his profile picture to a picture of him and Hummingbird. He's locked in. He's found his moneymaker. He's found his new, he's got a merch mover. He's got a new Starlight Kid. We're locked in. Hummingbird, I think, is taking that title. Scott, thoughts on Hummingbird? Thoughts on the identity of Hummingbird? Thoughts on everything going on with this new masked superstar?
I am a day one Hummingbird fan. Been there since the beginning. So, I'm happy you asked me. Hummingbird is gonna surprise a lot of people because Natsumi Shizuki is the ideal opponent for former actress girls. Yes, I am going with the cat mask calico movement here because it feels pretty obvious to me. I don't know why it confused so many people.
No, yeah, I second that.
Cat mask calico left. Cat mask calico left actress girls. Meanwhile, the 2 days before Hummingbird, we knew Hummingbird was a person. Rhythm wrestled in JTO, so that ain't happening, buddy. No, I think this is going to be a hell of a showcase for Hummingbird. I think you're right. I think Rossi knows there is magic here behind that mask, right? The masked wrestlers they can go far and they can succeed. And I think Hummingbird's going to do just that. Do I think she's going to win, however? I do not, unfortunately. And that's because I know in my heart of hearts, this title is meant for Misa Matsui. And I feel like her tackling Natsumi Shizuki at First Dream feels like the way to go. But I'm hoping Hummingbird absolutely shows out and shows off. And I'm very excited to see her first match. As a day one fan, obviously.
Of course.
I have to echo Scott's thoughts again. I think that this belt has Misa Matsui's name all over it. So I think that's the direction we're going in. I also can imagine the idea of a chase, but I think that Matsui beating Shizuki is the route to go. So, but as an other day one Hummingbird fan, I am excited. I'm excited.
Me and Six already have Hummingbird masks.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing it right now.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I'm
wearing it right now.
You don't have a camera because you don't want Jamie to ban you again.
No, exactly. Literally. But yeah, this is gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a great match. Jamie, I kind of second what you were saying earlier in terms of I actually think this is the match I'm looking the most forward to on the card.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's always interesting when they throw a new wrestler in straight into a title match. It shows, they clearly have big plans for this new signee. Number 52, I believe. So,
I love just watching her show up. I watched the show and her just walking out there, leaping up there. I was like, that ain't rhythm. Rhythm don't move like that.
Rhythm ironically does not have that much rhythm. There is no way.
That's what Lewis could talk to Taka about. Rhythm.
What were you cooking with Rhythm? What's that all about?
What were we doing there? What are we doing here?
What was going on with Rhythm?
I love talking Hummingbird and Shizuki as much as the next person, but let's move on to the next match on the card.
Let's keep it moving. We have another the fourth and final title match on this card. It's for the Twin Star Tag Team titles, and it's Mirai Saku, it's Mirai and Mai Sakurai taking on the team of Yuzuki, Victoria Yuzuki, to give it a full title, sorry, and Kazuna Tanaka. They have a name now. I forgot it.
It's I saw it the other day, but
I don't got it in my mind either.
Yeah, it's fine. They got a name. You got to believe me on this. Yeah. But regardless, anyway, that's not important. This match should be a lot of fun. I really enjoy Mai Sakurai and Mirai as a tag team. I think it's been a big part of Mirai's kind of
Celine Flora.
There you go, Celine Flora. And it was something.
What a beautiful name.
It's nice. It feels very, I don't know. It feels very
Victoria.
Yeah,
it does.
I like it.
That's the future. That's the young goat right there. So
the young goats. 2 young goats, many would say in that.
Two young goats. That's actually what they should have named their tag team.
Yeah, that would have been hard. But yeah, they're challenging for those twin star belts. My Sakurai, of course, in a very hot moment, and Mirai's always, always it'll be a tough one to beat in these title matches. And as a parent, I've enjoyed their work, but I do like the idea of the young goats taking those tag belts. Are they going to do it right now? I don't know. I feel like we should have I'm feeling a title match somewhere on this card. I don't think it's going to be
a
in
title change out of the 4. I could see Jamie's
I'd like it.
I need one.
I'm really rooting for Hummingbird.
I think if Matsui wasn't the path, such a clear path to go, I would be all the way behind Hummingbird because I think that's such a good shot. Let's talk about this tag title match.
Yeah, I think you guys are right on the Matsui train, but I guess that makes a Yuzuki and Tanaka win here a little bit more likely.
I actually kind of would like to see that. I would like to see. So I think I want to see Yuzuki with the belt. I think she deserves it and is ready. And I think Tanaka has already been benefiting greatly from working with Victoria Yuzuki. And I think having them be in a position where they can have more serious matches with stronger opponents, even if they're not holding the titles for long, I think this is a really good opportunity for them. So I actually think I would like to see them win the title belts here.
Yeah, I think
title change.
I'm kind of conflicted because I do think that these tag belts have to be dropped by Mirai and Mai Sakurai soon, because I think Mai Sakurai has a certain white belt coming her way sooner rather than later. So I look to Victoria Yuzuki as someone who had a title match on the last Korakuen, went to a draw, came up short in winning, but continues to be pushed heavily by Marigold. And I feel like a shock win here, perhaps, maybe pinning either Mirai or Mai Sakurai, is that moment that is fitting of this show. This is the match I feel like has the best chance of a title change. I don't know for sure, but I would love to see it. I would love to see the shock title change, because if it's not them, who's it going to be, right? Mirai and Mai already beat Twin Tower. There's obviously an obvious feud for Victoria Yuzuki and Kazuna against Twin Tower to follow this. So I think that's like a good pathway to go. And Yuzuki's probably going to piss off everyone as she continues, because, the beauty of Victoria Yuzuki is no matter if she wins or loses, she's grabbing that mic to talk shit. And that's why she's the young goat, as 6-star called her. So I'm excited, and I think there's going to be a title change. I'll go with it. I'm with you guys. Let's ride.
Yeah. I think whilst Marigold's still, it's been a few months now, but they're still technically in, the early stages of their growth as a promotion. And whilst they've only got, whilst you've got these 4 titles, I think out of the 4, if you're going to do kind of quick title or short title runs and quick title changes, the belt you can do that with is these twin star belts, especially whilst you don't have a super deep tag team division like you alluded to. So I think I'm on board with a title change here. That completes the title matches for this card. We've got a few other interesting ones to fly through. We have a passion injection match, which is a long time in the making.
Passion!
Of course. Passion. We're back. And she's facing more passion in the form of now Ishikawa. The story that they've been telling with now Ishikawa and ever since the kind of involvement of Nanae Takahashi, it's been one of my favorite things about Marigold since the promotion's inception. And it looks like we're finally going to have a huge moment here at Korakuen Hall. And it's going to be interesting to see where they take it. Nanae Takahashi, I think has a few big matches in her future, potentially title matches coming up. But this story's been all about now Ishikawa. So how they play this one out is going to be really interesting. I assume Nanae is probably going to pick up the victory, but it's how they play out that match. And I think now Ishikawa can still kind of win in defeat here with a really great show. 6, what are your thoughts on this one heading into this passion injection match?
All right. Well, I think Nanai and Nao Ishikawa are going to put on a show. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think Nao Ishikawa's fandom behind her is going to make this match great. And every Nanai match at Korakuen has an amped up crowd. So I think this is probably going to be the best match of Nao Ishikawa's career.
Yeah,
I agree. Sorry,
Oh,
I realized I got asked a second ago. I was in fact taking a drink of my water, so that one was on me.
That was great. That's
I
great.
muted my physical mic and not on the StreamYard, so that was my fault.
To be fair, it was funny to just watch Jamie stare.
It's gonna be great. Now has obviously been a huge story, has been a super success. Passion has been injected, and she's gonna get injected with some more passion, as he's obvious win for Nanai here. Anyways, great. Very much looking forward to this match.
That was another one of those situations where, because I can't see six, I don't know if there was like a big, a huge promo cooking up. So I had to give it a little second there.
I'm promoed out for the day. I think I've cut like 2 or 3. So I'm promoed out.
Fortunately, it was just technical difficulty.
Fortunately, didn't you sign me to a contract because of my promos?
Well, I said. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties. Okay. Trying to jump me again, trying to get
No, yeah, my fault. That was the woke mob. The
woke mob got us again. Few matches that we don't spend too long on. We'll just breeze through these. We have a tag team match, and this one should be fun. We have Utami Hayashishita, the Dreamstar Grand Prix winner, teaming with Koki, obviously, one of Six Star's favorites and a big winner. Coming out of the Dreamstar, and they'll be facing, interestingly, fellow Twin Tower tag team partner Chika Goto. She's teaming with Rhea Seto. It should be nice. Twin Tower interactions, Utami Koki tag team, always a fun time. How you feel about this, Scott?
I think it should be good. I like when Koki gets different partners. I think it gives her a chance to. I don't know. I mean, Koki's been great since the Miku Aono match. So every time she has a new setup, and I think when she's alongside Utami like she is, it's always a little more interesting to me because I feel like these two are meant to be partners eventually. Maybe not yet, but I think it's coming. And yeah, I think this should be a lot of fun for an undercard tag.
Yeah, I think if Marigold ever takes like the faction route, these two are obvious. Just in terms of aesthetics, they kind of fit the bill of being a pair. Six, how you feeling about this one?
Oh yeah, baby, we're talking big Koki in action. I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's gonna be really good. I've talked time and again about how I adore seeing Koki and Utami with one another. I think it's time for Utami to take those twin towers and make a faction. Yeah. So, woohoo! 2 thumbs up.
I like that as a trio. I think Big Koki's gonna get the winner. I think Rhea Seto, unfortunately, is gonna be on the losing end of this one. I think it's pretty obvious. Another debut on this card, and this is one which I'm very, very excited for. Misa Matsui is taking on Naho Yamada in her debut. Again, another former actress talent. Now, I'm not super familiar with the law of actress. However, what I do know from a little bit of research is that these two were in a faction together. I believe they were called Teppen. And I want to say that the faction featured these two. Also, Asahi, obviously a big fan of Asahi. And Kamash Calico, I believe, was the fourth. I want to say in Teppen.
You made it sound like you were asking us. I have no clue.
I think it was Catmash Calico. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it was Catmash Calico was the fourth in Teppen. And now we have 3 out of the 4 in Marigold, and we're getting these two are gonna meet again in a new ring, which will be very exciting. I believe also actress fans who are familiar with Teppen. We're very high on Naho Yamada. Many actually said that she looked the most natural in the ring out of the 4 at the time, which is crazy because Asahi was really damn good, and Misa Matsui is pretty damn good. And I'm a big fan of Hummingbird, so
I was gonna say, pay some respect to Hummingbird, pal.
Yeah. So I'm expecting big things from Naho Yamada. It's always fun when you coming into a new promotion, you have kind of a familiar opponent to lock in with. I think that's going to help her, kind of slot in real nice. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of relationship these two have moving forward, because I think they're probably going to play towards the fact that these two have got a little bit of history. But Scott, how are you feeling about this one? How are you feeling about Naho Yamada coming into the ranks of Dreamstar fighting Marigold?
I love debutees. I think it's always exciting to see new wrestlers join the fray, and that's what Marigold's all about right now, is introducing new wrestlers and getting them working together. So I'm excited to see what Yamada brings to the table, especially with what I've heard about her and her prospects. I feel like this is not going to be that normal debut match, because obviously she has a career before this, and being in there with Misa Matsui, I think these two are going to click, and it's going to make for a really exciting match. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. I think it's kind of telling that they threw it in with someone she's got history of and didn't kind of just throw it into not to be throw shady, but they didn't throw it into the mix with the people we've got in this next in this final match on the card, the Manami Komomo verse.
This is a good point.
To round out, we have a little tag team match to kick off this card. It's Komomo Manami and Yuki Manami, all the Manamis teaming up against Chiaki and Myla Grace. Not too much to get into here. Manami Komomo has started picking up singles victories, so we're up. we're moving up in the world at the expense of Yuki Manami. But I think Chiaki is probably going to pick up a win here in this open. I don't think there's too much more to say about that one. Any closing thoughts as we wrap up this Marigold Korakuen preview? It's a very exciting card.
It should be a great show.
Just going to echo what we said at the beginning. Marigold is really good at making Korakuen feel important, which not very many wrestling promotions are these days. So I'm excited for this show, and I am going to end this by saying Hummingbird supremacy.
Hummingbird.
Stocks are up, baby.
The bird is the word. Many people are saying
oh my goodness.
Now it's time. We've rounded out New Japan. We spent a long time on New Japan. We got through the Marigold Korakuen whole preview. Unless anyone has any final notes to get into, I think it's time for the big segment of the night. We haven't done this in a little while, live on air anyway. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for our Gold Star Grapplers of the week. But not just 1 week. 2 weeks of Gold Star Grapplers. Because we didn't do it last week. And we saved it.
Saved it indeed.
we saved it for.
Does that mean we get 2 posts this week?
2
after
posts
this? Oh yeah.
You're telling me I have to retweet 2 things? Damn.
Yeah. I'm making you, making you work. This is
really making me work for my paycheck.
Putting your hard yards in for what we do here. But yes, Gold Star Grapplers of last week we're going to start with. Now, I think usually we go 6 to Scott to me, I think is the order we typically go in.
Yes.
I'm very happy about that because I have completely forgot what happened last week. So I'm going to let you guys run it back and then I'll jog my memory and cook something up. But 6, take it away for last week's Gold Star Grappler.
Miku
Aono. Yes. Thoughts? What did Miku? I forgot what Miku did. What did she do? I'm not against it, but I need to elaborate.
Miku Aono last week wrestled in some random house shows on Marigold, and they're the first house shows I've watched in a while.
Beast.
I've been in school, and I just thought Miku Aono did really well. Wrestled Rhea Seto, I believe, in a match. I want to say last week, but I could also be going crazy. Yeah, so that's my Gold Star Grappler.
Yeah.
All right, we're cooking, guys.
Scott.
I'm gonna break so I'm gonna get a little crazy here. So I had 2 for today, and I'm just gonna pivot 1 because I can just lie. So my golden grappler for the week last week. I'm gonna explain this. Is the actress that played Chigusa Nagayo in The Queen of Villains, Erika Karada. Shout out to the legend. That's my goat. Thank you. She was at the Marvelous show today, so I was gonna use it as today's, but no, I'm cheating. She was great in the show. I finished the show 2 weeks ago, so it's fine. And yeah, there you go. Erika Karada, aka Chigusa Nagayo in The Queen of Villains, which everyone should go out of their way to watch. Thank you.
Absolutely. I also watched this show. And that is a very, very beast pick indeed. A deserving Gold Star grappler. A real grappler, many would say. Someone should run some real matches with with some of that talent in that show. I'll cook something up. My Gold Star grappler for last week, I really don't remember what happened last week. So
just
the only thing I can remember is that in the main event of WWE Bad Blood, we were taking it all. Settle the score, the one that will not take a loss. So my Gold Star grappler, and I also saw him at a live event this week. It was this week, but fuck it, I have an
you have to tread carefully.
It's the tribal chief, the head of the table, the big dog, Solo.
Wait a minute, he went
whoa,
to a live
whoa!
That's crazy.
I loathe you. I loathe you, Jamie.
Crazy.
I loathe you. You
How
monster.
You? That's disgusting.
I knew exactly where you were going with this because of us talking backstage prior to the show. But innocent Scotty, to do that to him, he put the one up thinking we were going for the big dog, Big Rome.
I thought we were respecting the OTC, but no, you disrespected me. Well, you disrespected Roman.
I'm disgusted. Enough of that. What's our collective Gold Star Grappler? We're done. We're not listening to any more of Jamie
For
last
week, Jamie doesn't even remember what happened. So 6-star. We can just take advantage here. 6. I'm gonna let you have this one. Wait, Stephanie Barker debuted, didn't she?
Nope. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. His last full week as a full-time professional wrestler.
All right, no, Cook. No, you're right.
Had a great performance in the Blackpool Combat Club Civil War tag match. He hit the yeses while that snake, that traitor Wheeler Yuta was on the floor because he knew that Yuta was not a real one. So he left him on the floor. And that's why he's our collective beast of the week. What a beast. American Dragon, I love you so much. Rest in peace.
Oh, Jesus. Now week 2, right? We move on to week 2.
And then we go back to me. And we go back to me.
Hold on. Where are we? Let me get the shit. It's time for our Gold Star week.
Right.
Yes.
Back to me.
So, back to 6.
My Gold Star Grappler of the week is none other than the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the one, the only Big Grip, Ryohei Oiwa. I almost said Iwa. Ryohei Oiwa. I love you, Big Grip. That's my Gold Star Grappler of the week.
I love that pick. That's a great pick. That's a real Gold Star Grappler right there. Big Grip. First of many, I assume. I'm sure he'll pick up a few more of these down the road. Scott, this week, take it away.
Shelton Benjamin. Ain't no stopping me.
Ain't no stopping me. Whoa. Before we continue, I can't lie to you. The entire time we've been in this show, I've been debating between Big Grip and Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I'm really happy you went with Benjamin.
If you picked Shelton, I would have been so sad because I've had that one locked in. That's why I cheated because I wanted to use both. But Shelton, what a debut, baby! People, I think people forget how great Shelton is, and he reminded everyone. That's a real super kick, by the way. All right, move on.
Okay, please.
I didn't say anything about anyone.
Okay, tread carefully.
Yeah, we've had 2 incredible picks here.
Don't ruin this, Jamie.
I know I'm under a lot of pressure now because I was
after the last pick, buddy.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that last pick.
There's everything wrong with that last pick.
Nasty behavior.
We're taking it all. Listen,
it's
not
good
wrong with this. Anyway,
taking it all.
it goes hard. They were cooking.
Don't screw this up.
My Gold Star Grappler. of the week. It feels like a cop out because it's not an underrated. It is a big name, but I was very, very scared when I heard about plans for this individual. However, I've enjoyed what I've been given so far. So my Gold Star Grappler of the week is the man that killed the American Dragon. My Gold Star Grappler of the week is John Moxley. He's cooking right now. He's spitting facts. AW. Fuck AW. John Moxley needs a soldier. I'm on board. I'm signing up.
No, you cooked with that choice. Mox is doing great stuff right now.
Did you see on Dana? He cut that promo and it was like, man, I don't even recognize AW anymore. And then like the first half an hour of AW was just like,
dog shit.
bad.
Yeah.
It was like not great. And it was like, damn.
The best part of that entire show is him drilling an Action Andretti in the back of the head.
That was so fire.
When he did the flip and he's just like, get the fuck out of here.
It was very
great.
Yeah, he was our Wrestle Purist Wrestler of the week, so it's not the craziest shout, but sometimes people win the Wrestler of the week for a reason. Big Mox is my Gold Star Grappler for this week.
And our collective,
it feels like there's only one man that should be getting the collective this week. It's the obvious choice, but we spoke about him at length. He's in the thumbnail. It feels like it should be Zack Sabre Jr., right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Yeah, and if we're rolling into the remainder of this week too, then I mean he's going to have another great title match against Sonada on Sunday. So Zack Sabre. So to round out to full recap, last week's Gold Star Grapplers of the week. Off the top of my head, we have Miku Aono for doing whatever Miku Aono did. We have the actor that played Chigusa Nagayo.
Erica Karada, pay some respect.
Yes, Queen of Villains. And we also have the Tribal Chief, and then the collective Gold Star Grappler was American Dragon Bryan Danielson. This week was Big Grip Ryohei Oiwa, Shelton Benjamin with one hell of a debut on AEW Dynamite.
Real pro wrestler.
John Moxley for killing the Dragon, and Zack Sabre Jr. for bringing it home. So that rounds out.
Damn, we gave a lot of props to white men this week. God damn.
We really did.
I didn't.
This really is Jamie Ross's Wrestle Purist.
To be fair, you guys agreed on the collective before I even got here, so I just had to accept it. If I got to pick my collective, it probably would have been Shelton Benjamin as well. We would just give him two credits.
Listen, I wouldn't have been against it, but hey, everyone got their props that needs to get their props, especially
ZSJ deserves
the OTC, not the OTC, the real tribal, the RTC, the real tribal chief.
You need to stop. You need to. Anyway, so everybody, thank you so much
for everyone
coming out and joining us today. We had a lovely time today in our return episode of the Gold Star podcast. We're hoping to bring you another episode much sooner than we had this one from the last one, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful time for this week. What you should right now, and I mean it right now, you gotta like and subscribe, like this stream and subscribe to Wrestle Purists, and then after we end the broadcast, you need to comment. And I'm going to give you a prompt. Who should be Hiroshi Tanahashi's final opponent at the Tokyo Dome next year? That is what your comment prompt is this week. And if you want to leave a second comment, what your favorite color is. But
if you want, I'll give you one final prompt. If you want to leave a third comment, I want you to type hashtag woke purists.
Hashtag woke purists. Yep.
Hashtag woke purists.
Those three things. Let's get who is Hiroshi Tanahashi facing in the Tokyo Dome next year. What is your favorite color? And hashtag woke purists. But this is 6-star for Scott E Wrestling and the final Ross. I'm gonna actually let you guys tag yourselves before I was going to close this off. We should probably Scott. So would you like to plug everything you got going on right now?
No, but I will, because you put me on the spot. At Scott E Wrestling on Twitter. That's it. I don't got anything else going on. I'm very boring lately. I don't got much going on. I mean, I have a Sari interview coming out, but I don't know what day. I'm waiting on the responses. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna vibe. I do have a new project eventually happening called Joshi Rewind.
Oh yeah.
Which, if anyone wants to know my sheet, so I put together a sheet for this.
I love a good sheet.
From 1976 to 1996. 579 matches
Good Lord.
to watch. I am locked in. So shouts out to Nagayo and Linus Asuka and Jaguar and the many, many more that I'll be diving into very soon. But yeah, that's all I got going on. So thank you, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Jamie, would you like to plug anything you got going, you got cooking, you got brewing?
I don't have too many things cooking. The one thing I can leave you with, Six, you alluded to it before, we're hoping to be back a little bit sooner than previous episodes. I want to throw it out right now. I think we're going to be back in a week's time. I think next Friday, the Gold Star podcast returns. I hope I haven't just, I'm not shooting too hard here. And Scott got to announce that he can't do it. But no, I'm locking it in. We're going to be back next week. We're going to be talking Royal Quest. We're going to be talking Marigold Korakuen review, and anything else that crops up throughout the week. Anything else we gotta break down. I'm sure there'll be plenty of more things to get into, but I think you're gonna be seeing us a little bit sooner. So that's it for me. Six, any last minute plugs before we take this thing home?
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to. I'm not super active these days at 6starpoi. That's the number 6, the word star, and poi as a Natsupoi. That's 6 STARPOI at 6starpoi on Twitter. You can follow us for any updates at Gold Star Podcast on Twitter as well. And of course, follow at Wrestle Purists on Twitter for only the most important and breaking news in the world of professional wrestling today. And of course, this is 6-Star for Scott Edwards and Jamie Ross, wishing that everybody who attended this broadcast may have a wonderful day, evening, morning, and whatever it may be. And thank you so much for joining us here today. Goodbye.
Shout out to Doc Gallows, shout out to Solo Sikoa, shout out to Hummingbird.
Whoa.